Hey everybody, Paul Abernathy here. Thanks for joining me today on this edition of Fast Trax Live. So today we're going to do a quick look at table 250.66, but more specifically, I want to look at rod, pipe, and plates. I want to look at concrete case electrodes, and I want to look at ground rings. But we really want to talk about the grounding electrode conductor that's from the grounded conductor inside of the service equipment to those electrodes. So that grounding electrode conductor, I really want to do a quick look at understanding the sizing when it comes to using 250.66A, B, and C. Right? And we'll give a big overview of the table 250.66 as well. So without further ado, let's go on and get into the lesson, and then we'll see what our objective is for the lesson and kind of our overview. And then we'll also look at the code and give you a little information there too. So let's go on and get it going. Okay, so we're looking at 250.66, and I'm going to we're looking at it, and I'll give you some information as we get around the discussion, but general requirement. So the size of a grounding electrode conductor, now again, that's from your service equipment grounded terminal bus and your service equipment down to the electrode, whatever it may be. In case today we're going to talk about rod, pipe, plates, we're going to be talking about rings and concrete case electrodes, but it's that connection between the electrode and the grounded conductor at the service equipment. Now, keep in mind that when we're talking about like a remote distribution panel that's in a detached structure, then you will still have a grounding electrode conductor. The only difference is at that detached structure, it's not going to connect to the grounded conductor. It's going to connect to the equipment grounding conductor terminal bus. Because you remember, the neutrals and the equipment grounds are separated at a detached structure. Okay, or remote panel. So we're really talking at the service, we're really talking about the grounding electrode system for the service. That's really the focus on today's topic. But we'll go on and read the information, and then we'll use this to kind of dig deeper into the discussion. So 250.66, general requirements. So the size of the grounding electrode conductor and bonding jumpers for connections to grounding electrodes must not be smaller than given in table 250.66. So that is the table that, based on the size of the ungrounded conductors, or based on the equivalent area of paralleled ungrounded conductors. Okay, for example, you might have two sets of 500 kc mil. That's a parallel set. So together that'd be 1,000. Okay, so those conductors are what we're going to help decide based on table 250.66, the size of our grounding electrode conductor, right? Now, it says, except as permitted in 250.66A through C. So you have an A, a B, and a C. And we're going to look at those today, and that's pretty much the main topic of this brief video for you. Now, to use 250.66 table, simply follow the appropriate column for copper or aluminum service entrance conductors, feeder conductors, or derived conductors from separately derived systems, like a transformer is an example of a separately derived system, down until the row includes the size of conductor, and follow that row across to find the minimum size of the copper or aluminum grounding electrode conductor. That sounds simple, doesn't it? Okay, well, we're going to go look at the code book in order to kind of see what we're talking about. So let's go. So here's the code book. So here's what it's saying doing right here. Okay, it's saying you go down and you find the size of the largest ungrounded conductor or equivalent area of parallel conductors, right? You come down here, if they're copper ungrounded conductors, and you come down here and whatever they may be. So I gave you my example of two parallel 500s. So together, 500 and 500 is 1,000. So right here, over 600 through 1,100. Then you simply find the conductor sizes of the ungrounded hot conductors. And then you move to the right. And here you go. So your grounding electroconductor would have to be at least a 2-aught. If you were using aluminum or copper-clad aluminum grounding electroconductors, then it would have to be a 4-aught. So it's really just that simple as long as you know the size of conductors. Now, we did a webinar and we went over this and I showed them how to do this based on the size of the conductors. That webinar is now going to be available over on fasttrackstube.com. Exclusively there. You can join in. I talk about the different electrodes. I go into about rods, pipe, plates. I talk about how to size it if you have multiple electrodes, all that type of stuff. If you want to watch that video, it's available on Fast Tracks Tube. Make sure you subscribe. It's best $99 you'll ever spend. Okay, so that's over on our Fast Tracks Tube platform. Okay.